Alright, so let's talk about collections. A collection is a group of a number of items, although it could be empty. The first collection we're going to go over is a list. A list is a collection with the ability to access elements by using an index. So let's write a list that will hold some characters. So we're going to use val, make character list as the variable that's going to hold this list, and we're going to make that equal to list of. Just like how we used array of, we have list of, and we can just open up the parentheses and we can start defining the elements that we want to put inside of this list. So we can open up some single quotes and start placing some characters within this list, and I forgot to put a comma right there. All right, so boom. So now if we want to access an item within this list, we just have to use character. Actually, let me just print this out so you guys can see. Print ln character list dot get. So we can either do dot get, or as you guys saw, we can use the square brackets just like an array. But I'm gonna use dot get because that comes with the list, and we can specify the index just like an array. It starts at 0 and then it increments by 1. So if you want to grab something in the middle, in this case there's only 3, so we'll just use 1. And so this 1 signifies that we want to grab y, and we can press run. And voila, y pops up. And just to show you guys that just like an array, square brackets work. Voila, y again. And also we can get the size of this list. So we just use character list dot size. And let's run that. And in this case it's 3. So we should see 3. Now if you do not know if a list contains a certain element that you're looking for, you can do a check. So this list comes with a dot contain method that will check if your list has the element that you're looking for. So we can put character list dot contain, and in this case we want to see if this list contains the character a, and if we run this, you should see false, because that is not true. It does not contain a. But if we were to put x and we see x is the first element and we run that, we should see true. We can also check for the specific index of a character. So let's just copy this and pasta that, and let's use index of to check what is the index of this character z. And if we run that, we shall see that the character is 2. So there's a lot of useful things that a list comes with. Now, the one thing we cannot do is we cannot add. We can't add anything to a list. We can't add another character if we want to. So in this case, a list is not mutable. You cannot write to this list. So we have another instance of a list called mutable list, and we'll make some space, call this mutable character list, and we'll make this equal to, now before we had list of, but if we want a mutable list, we'll use mutable list of. And in this case, since we know we're going to type char, we can specify it just like an array. We use these anchor tags and we place the data type that we want to place within this mutable list, and now we can start putting in some characters. So in this case, I'm gonna use A, B, and C. Now, before, character list didn't give us the option to add. We can reverse the list. There's a lot of things we could do with a list, but in this case, we couldn't take a value within it and change it. But with the mutable list, if my mouse can start working, with the mutable list, we can add. And in this case, I just want to add something to the end, so I'm just gonna put D and actually I forgot to put the single quotes. Rookie mistake. Now if I print out this mutable character list and I run it, I shall see A, B, C, and D. Cool stuff. Before I couldn't do that with just a regular list. We only have read-only access, but with a mutable list, we are able to write to this list. I'm also able to add a whole list if I wanted to. So let's do that. So let's take this mutable character list and use the add all to add a collection of data to it. So we're going to add another list, and we're going to just use a regular list of, and what's F, and then we're going to add G as well. Ooh, forgot to add it to its own character. So we're going to add a separate list of E, F, and G. And let's copy this printout and let's print it out again so you guys can see that this is possible. We can add single characters, or we can add a whole collection of characters if we want to. So now it's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. We got the alphabets going on. And we could also, let's do this right before so you guys can see, we can remove a character. So let's remove F and let's run this. Boom. A, B, C, D, E, and then F is gone, but then we'll just go to G. Now, if you know the exact index of the thing you're trying to remove, you can use remove at. So I know I want to remove the last item within this list. So I'm just going to use character or mutable character list. Dot size -1, just to make sure that I'm actually retrieving the actual last element within the list. Now if I run this, we're back to A, B, C, D, and E. So if you know for sure that you want to be able to read and also make changes to the list, which is right, you use a mutable list. But if you know you just want read-only access and you just want to be able to retrieve values from the list, you use a regular list. So that is the first collection in the group of collections that we have in Kotlin.